views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Welcome to the hit show Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fonteyne on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Get ready to stir up your passions, identify your blocks, and shift into an entirely new existence. Just say yes to explosive abundance. Leslie Fonteyne is a transformation catalyst and clairvoyant who uses her intuitive and energetic gifts to catapult listeners into living the life they were born to live. Whether it's shifting from scarcity to abundance, from emotional pain into joy, or from illness into health, Leslie will help you step into the true essence and power of all that you are with the help of the Ascended Masters and Archangels. You will not be the same.
Hey, everybody, welcome. It's so great to have all of you join us here. Yeah, this is one of the funnest things I get to do, Sheer Alchemy with my co-host, Leslie Fonteyne. And I love this topic today. I love it. I actually love all the topics Leslie brings to the forefront, but this one especially, Shifting Consciousness and Abundance, a discussion with Leslie and me. And what does that mean? Well, in Leslie's words, when we shift in consciousness, we get the taste of a new economy, a new logic, a new view of reality. It isn't 3D based, yet we bring that consciousness into 3D. It can be confusing. Yeah, no question about it. Today, we get to discuss how to continue to manifest in the new economy. We're going to find out what all of that means. Leslie Fonteyne is amazing and works with people all over the globe, and she actually physically gets to places all over the globe. So we're thrilled to have her joining us here today. Beyond being a transformation catalyst, it is through her friends, through the Ascended Masters, through the light beings, through source energy that she gets to work with folks to help each and every one of us step in to our full being, step in to beyond what's possible. Today, we get to talk about what a shift in consciousness really is about. Why is it confusing for some? What happens when we're trying on a new pair of gloves or a new pair of jeans? How uncomfortable is that? Wouldn't we rather have our worn and torn, old, broken-in jeans? Well, some of us would and some of us wouldn't. And today, we get to experience Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fonteyne. Leslie, it's great to have you here.
I so love that intro. I was thinking about the shoehorn and shoving our feet into a tight shoe and going, God, I wish I was wearing my comfy loafers.
You know, it's interesting you bring that up. As women, we have had to break in so many pair of uncomfortable shoes that I can think about now. I mean, it really is true. I have a pair of shoes that are so old. I love them. I don't feel like giving them up. I know they're ripped and torn. I'm so glad my mom's not here to see them.
Oh, I know. And I think that is a perfect metaphor since we are in the midst of a massive download of the divine feminine. So new pairs of shoes, perfect analogy. That is just absolutely great. You know, I'm working with so many people now, Pat, that are in the middle of a shift and they are going, what the heck is going on? Why is everything just like, you know, so unsettled, and I'm feeling like I'm in crisis, and I'm feeling like I'm not happy, and I'm trying to make choices I don't want to make, and why can't it just be same old, and different story tomorrow, and just do it again? Why is nothing just okay? And what we're going through for a lot of us right now is our soul has made a choice. If we think about who we are, you know, there's the personality level, which most of us see in one another if we're just, you know, looking at each other at that level. then we have a soul level, right? And we have this desire to step into this higher consciousness, for some of us that are on this spiritual path. And so many of us right now are conflicted because we go, well, that doesn't make sense because I live in this world and I should look at the world the way everyone around me looks at it. And we're almost being forced into facing the fact that we are in this shift and we need to adopt this higher level of economy, higher level of logic, and bring it on in. So I really want to talk about some of this confusion and what it's like to bring in that new economy.
What I love about what you said here, Leslie, is that there is not just a sense for me when I'm listening to you of it being a new economy, but being a new and expansive economy. Mm-hmm. And I think that for a lot of people, they don't see it as a new and expansive economy. They see it as a new and scarcity economy. Mm-hmm. They do. And yet all of the people that talk about the energies really don't see more scarcity coming.
Right. And, we're trained to look at things a certain way. So if someone says the economy's bad, we go, okay, the economy's bad. Mm-hmm. Spirit's not poor. Spirit's never poor. So we have 100% abundance, 100% health. So, our opportunity is to download that. But we are pretty much trained to be in fear. And, everybody that listens to my show is always hearing me talk about this fear issue. And that's because it's the exact opposite of love. It's the exact opposite of source and light. So whenever we're in fear, everyone knows that feeling about when our field just constricts, right? We get tight. We get tight in the chest. We get tight in the gut. We feel our throat tighten up. All of that tightness is a constriction of our energy. So pushing it out and expanding and allowing in something that maybe we've never experienced and we have no background in is scary. We get afraid of the unknown. Once again, another favorite topic, the unknown.
Well, let's talk about some of this new economy and what that actually means. And for people that have been living in a state of fear, fear is what they know. And yet, if you ask somebody what you're afraid of, most people will tell you, I'm afraid of, and they'll go through a list of 2 or 3 things. Losing my job, being homeless. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that. Mm-hmm. And yet at the same time, if you look at the paper, we're supposedly doing pretty good now.
Yeah, we are. It is amazing. I kind of go from the opposite direction. Mm-hmm. I ask people to start with their intentions and their desires. And then I ask them, because within a millisecond, the negative I can't because stuff is going to show up. So I want you to write your intentions and what you really desire to create and step into. And then on the other side of it, all of that stuff that's coming up that's explaining to you why you can't do it, why you can't have it, why you can't make it happen. You're too burdened with this. What will people think? I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. Write it all out. That's where the information about fear is, because most times if you ask people, well, I'm okay. Well, what does okay mean, right? Just to your point just now. So when we go into the intentions, people will start to explain all the reasons why they can't create it now. And I know you've had direct experience in your own life when you yes. step into this thing, you just leap, right? It's like a free fall into this, like, oh my God, what am I going to create? Well, most people are terrified. And the terrifying part of it is that we have no experience of being rescued, caught, supported. It's this assumption we'll be destroyed.
Well, and Leslie, where does this come from? Why does this become so scary for people?
Growing up, unfortunately, growing up in this world. And listen, we're in the earth realm on purpose. It's not an accident we're here. But here you're being asked to grow. You're being asked to shift and to bring light in. And that's why I want to talk about how we bring it into 3D, because we're living here. We're living in power. We're not supposed to go hide and go, oh my God, I can't go out there. My energy is so sensitive. I can't deal with all those people. It's too much for me. We're supposed to eventually get to where we're quite powerful, where we can protect ourselves and we can stand in authority. And that's what we want to check out today about what's showing up for us, because it wouldn't be showing up for all of us if it wasn't possible.
Well, what is this thing that we go through that is called in this current plane of consciousness, helplessness?
Right.
Even if we don't say the words, Leslie, don't our behaviors actually demonstrate sometimes what helplessness can look like?
Absolutely. Like I talk often about how can you be a vice president in a company and you go home and you're very helpless and reactive to your partner. It's the same person, but it's different agreements. It's the same part of you, but different energy fields. So that's what we want to look at is you're not all disempowered. Parts of you are extremely powerful, but then we want to hide those other parts of us, right? That are not as strong, not as confident, really sensitive. We've been shamed about our sensitivity our whole lives. I meet empath after empath who has been shamed for being so sensitive. So I really want to talk to those people about this. This is not a shaming exercise about helplessness. This is about stepping into it.
Absolutely. Let's take a short break, everyone. When we come back, today's topic is hot: shifting consciousness and abundance. A discussion. It is a discussion. What happens when we have a shift in consciousness? Are there things that we can expect? And are we afraid to even expect a greater life? Let's take a short break. When we come back, I'm going to give you lots of information how you can find out more about Leslie, all the really cool places she is getting on a plane and getting ready to go, and much more. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Go on, leave me breathless. Come on.
Almost everyone at some time in their lives ask themselves, what am I? Most of our questions are ego-generated and simply don't address the problem of our false self. It's time to relax your ego and embody your soul. Dr. Dan Cohen, neurologist, inventor, and author, has created tools to awaken a new way to transform from who you thought you were into what you truly are. Visit toolstoawaken.com today.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
Holistic Medical Center is where you find it all. A healthy space with doctors who care, see, and listen to the whole you. Hi, this is Dr. Darvish. If you have not found an answer to your chronic symptoms, you will find answers here at Holistic Medical Center. Our doctors find the root cause of your symptoms and guide your body towards healing naturally. We transform lives from within. Visit drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
Naturopathic doctor, founder of the Martha's Vineyard Holistic Retreat, and author of the New York Times bestseller 21 Pounds in 21 Days, Dr. Ronnie DeLuce has helped tens of thousands of people, including celebrities and athletes, with her message of lifestyle change. Now Dr. Ronnie DeLuce wants to help you. You too can be saved. Email Dr. Ronnie DeLuce at info@ronniedeluceonradio.com and visit mtheholisticretreat.com. Dr. Ronnie DeLuce, your partner in wellness.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Sheer Alchemy, Leslie Fonteyne. Now, for those of you out there, I want to make sure that you know how to find out more about Leslie. She is traveling around, but she is not far in that she works with people all over the globe. But for those of you that want to see her in person, Leslie, what's the best way for people to find out more about you, where you're going to be, in case they want to get some up close and personal time with you?
Oh, I love the up close and personal, and it's so great to see everyone whenever I'm in their town. So you can go to my website, lesliefonteyne.com, LeslieFonteyne.com. You can opt in, you can email me, you can even call me at 678-665-3675. 833-888-3366. I am going to be everywhere soon. Once February comes, I'll be in Raleigh, then in March in Chicago and Reno, and then in Seattle, as a matter of fact, and then Portland in April, Cincinnati in April, and then I head back to London. So there's a lot going on, and I'm working with people, just like you said, Pat, all the time, and it's really an honor to be working with people that have been, a bit maligned, I think, for being sensitive, who are learning to get into their power, step into it, and create this new economy. So hope to meet all of you.
And let's talk about that, Leslie, because what you shared before the break is talking about the shame that we carry around with us. A shame which does contribute to helplessness, to be afraid to step forward in who we really are. Let's talk about this fear of being who we are. What is that about, and why are we so afraid?
Yeah. Well, just remember always, you're here on purpose. Your sensitivity is on purpose. You are here to bring light. And what you haven't learned is how to take care of yourself, which makes sense. I often give the analogy of a child who, didn't have a car, couldn't drive, didn't have money, couldn't go to the grocery store, couldn't run away, had nowhere else to live. They were the child. They were helpless. So sometimes our inner child is driving the bus a bit and, making us a bit afraid of stepping into our power. And many of us, if we were truly honest, would admit and say, you know what, I'd much rather have somebody else be in charge, and then I don't have to be on the front lines. I don't have to be the one that's seen. No one needs to see when I fall down or make a mistake or, blame me and all that. And some of us have a real extreme horror of all that. And that's our inner child that's like out of control on those feelings because she truly was helpless. So now we bring her or him back into the fact that, look, I'm an adult now. I'm a grown up. I'm going to take care of you. So notice where you have the extreme thinking, where you're just really off the chain about this stuff. And now realize that your wounds are a gift. Why is it a gift? Because now you've got an opportunity to clear it, to release it, to let go of these old agreements, to let go of the shame where you were shamed for being so sensitive, shamed for having feelings and thoughts. We all learned in the business world to toughen up and not let our feelings get hurt. So think about all the dimensions you've had to, live in, from work to school to family, everywhere, all these different roles we play. Our higher self, our soul transcends all of that, but it's not wimpy. It's very strong. So what we want to learn is how to protect that and stand in our power, stand in our truth, and understand something we didn't know as a child. And that was the protection of Source, the comfort of the light beings, the ascended masters that we can bring into every situation of our lives. And I just say, try it like your breakfast cereal. Just try it out. Start your morning like a cup of coffee and begin putting them on, inviting them into the car, into your cube at work, into conversations that are difficult with partners and friends. Try it. I'm telling you, you're going to realize how truly powerful and magnificent you are.
What I love about what you're sharing today and about this topic today is it really busts an old idea that we were born to play small. And I use that language because that's really what most people actually relate to. They use language of, wait a minute, I don't know that I was really groomed to be on the same playing field as you, maybe, Leslie, or you, Pat. Right. I'm really not, that's not really my path. I don't want to reach for that. I don't want to expect a better life. And if we don't make a shift, how are we ever going to do what the topic today talks about? Shift consciousness and abundance.
Well, let's talk about that moment of shifting. And let's just take our listeners wherever they are right now, okay? And let's just say that, we've got the curtains drawn. It's dark. We're lonely. We're sad. We don't want to talk to anyone. We feel small, like you said, and we're feeling neglected and nobody loves us. And it's a very real feeling. I'm not making fun of anyone on this. And here we are, and so in this moment, we want to draw in some of these energies. We want to draw in the love of the loved ones, the higher beings, the light beings, our masters, the archangels, bringing them into loving us in this actual place. So what happens when the light comes in is we start to see where we don't love ourselves. So we dig deeper and we go, why don't I love myself? What did I learn about myself? And often it's what others taught us. So as we start to let go of these other people's messages and we start to love and value ourselves, then we start to draw in based on our desires and our intentions, based on who our energy is showing us up to be right now. And as we do that, as we shift our energy, that's where it starts. Then we can start to draw in the new economy, the new ways that things work on another level. But we first start in our own fertile field, and it's not in the time where we feel great. Okay, I'm going to start this when I feel good about myself. No, start it in the middle of the pile of mess. Start it right there, and do not tear yourself down like you felt your whole life.
Wow. And, let's talk about this when we come back from break, Leslie, because one of the things that, I'm really struck by here recently is, we're putting together a campaign on Positive Talk Radio. And I started to look at some of the information out there about what does it mean to reprogram ourselves? Is it possible to change the hard wiring we have? Mm-hmm. And many people agree that it is possible and important to do so. But they vary as to what that actually means. Mm-hmm. And it's fascinating when we try to solve a problem at the level that the problem was created.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I love about what I do. I got to tell you, because there are so many books out there. Follow these 8 steps, do these 4 things, read these 3 books, and you'll be okay. And then somehow, if you don't get it and you don't arrive and you can't do them all, you've failed. So the whole thing is we want to help people take a look at the energetic commitment we have to maybe the failure and see how we can step into all that we are.
Well, for those of you out there, today's show is called what it is for a very, very good reason. All of you out there, please note that you can find out more about Leslie. We'll give you lots of information when we come back. You can go to lesliefonteyne.com, Leslie, Fonteyne.com, or you can simply Google Sheer Alchemy, and you will see her pop right up there. Today's topic, shifting consciousness and abundance. Now, what does that mean? Shifting abundance. Do you shift abundance before you shift consciousness? How did these two playmates play together or not? For more information about us, what I'd love for you to be able to do is go to transformationtalkradio.com. Lots of information. You can find out much more about Leslie on our website. You can call Leslie at 678-665-3366. And for those of you that want to find out more about how you can work with Leslie, she works with people all over the globe. You can give her a call. You can go check out the website and much more. When we come back, we're going to be talking about what happens when we do shift. What does our life look like before? What does it look like after? And what does the new economy start to feel like? Stay tuned, everybody. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Enlightening, humorous, and compassionate. Listen live to The Kelly Ballard Show, insight and inspiration from the great beyond. Kelly is a 4th-generation medium and intuitive who covers topics ranging from grief, spirit guides, and listening to your intuition. Kelly can help you get answers and guidance from the other side with a little bit of humor and a lot of healing. Tune in to The Kelly Ballard Show, Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Time here on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Tune in to Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fonteyne on TransformationTalkRadio.com and get ready to stir up your passions, identify your blocks, and shift into an entirely new existence. Leslie Fonteyne is a transformation catalyst and clairvoyant who uses her intuitive and energetic gifts to catapult listeners into living the life they were born to live. Whether it's shifting from scarcity to abundance, from emotional pain into joy, or from illness into health, Leslie will help you step into the true essence and power of all that you are with the help of the Ascended Masters and Archangels. You will not be the same. Visit TransformationTalkRadio.com for show dates and times and LeslieFontaine.com to say yes to explosive abundance.
What does it mean to be healthy? For each of us, it means something a little different. Discover the art of herbal medicine, a natural way to help our bodies respond better to the modern-day stress and toxicity of our everyday lives. Using organic herbs from around the world, the skilled herbalists at Urban Wellness in Kirkland can help you choose the herbs that are right for your body. Find your herbal solutions for common health issues at urbanwellness.com. That's HERBAN wellness.com.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. For more information about Leslie, go ahead and go to lesliefontaine.com, FONTEYNE.com, lesliefontaine.com, or, just Google Sheer Alchemy. When you do that, lots of information about Leslie will come up, and you not only will be able to connect with her directly, you'll be able to listen to the many, many shows she has done on such an amazing group of topics. The other thing that you can do is give her a shout. Give her a call, schedule a session with her. She works with people all over the globe. 678-665-3366. 678-665-3366. Today's topic, shifting consciousness and abundance. And I was wondering in my mind, this is really kind of cool that we get to talk about this right now. And the reason that I think it's kind of cool is that abundance, we have a sense, Leslie, we have to wait for. But I wonder if I were abundance and I were looking at me, I would be asking, what are you waiting for? But yet we are so afraid that there is such a level of risk in embracing this new economy.
That's true. It's true. And we're afraid of being the initiators, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
We would much rather support someone else's company than create our own. We would rather go with someone else's idea than create our own. And, this is a time of real honesty. The people we're talking to today have been making a lot of shifts. They've been dissatisfied. They've been unhappy in their jobs. They're unhappy in their circumstances. And they don't want to tell anyone because they think they're supposed to think positive, talk positive, and do all that stuff, right? But the thing is that energy still seeps out of our field. So what's going on now is that we're having to say yes in the midst of the circumstance, in the midst of the crisis, in the midst of the unhappiness. So a lot of people, they're going, well, I'm just not really getting any intuitive guidance. Oh, yeah, you are. You're getting it, but you're dismissing it. And you're explaining why you can't have it and why it can't be done. So I want to throw out a tip, which is when you get it, just say yes. Just say yes right then. And you are going to know you did something big by how scared you feel when you did that. And you haven't even done anything yet. All you've done is say yes. So it's an awesome way to start the new year because that means that we're prepping January, aren't we? Here it is December. We're prepping January and we're going to hit the ground running. Every company I know, they, forget the holidays. It's out like we'll get 50% done. Come January 1, off we go. And we start like, gangbusters. So think about what you want to say yes to and notice all the fear you have about how it's going to happen. Well, who will go along with you? Who will support you? What will they think? Will your partner stay with you? Will you lose your job? Will you be thrown out on the street? Will you quit paying your mortgage? All this crazy stuff that our inner child, that's how she sees the world, how he sees the world. We want to reel her back in and go, you know what? I'm the grown-up here, and I'm going to trust this universal being out there that is going to allow me to step into all that I am.
You know, Leslie, one of the things that I love about talking about this is this idea of looking at the word abundance and getting a full understanding of what that means. And I think it's important that you and I chit chat about what that is. If we could possibly even define it, because by the very nature of putting a box around it and the definition around it, we limit the possibilities. But people know what it's not. We really know that.
We do. That's so true. That is so true. You know what? The word came to me about abundance is joy.
Yeah.
And we're afraid of it. We're afraid of being that happy. You know, remember when you'd be happy as a kid and someone would say to you, what have you got to be happy about? Something must be wrong if you're that happy. You know, all these things we learn. So, don't look like you've got too much. Don't, be humble. Don't show, you must be showing off. Don't get all, ecstatic about something. So joy is whatever is presenting to your soul essence, whatever's showing up for you that makes you happy. So we're feeling this, right, in the middle of the situation that doesn't make us happy. And I'm saying situation, it's not always situational, but we're in a choice that we've made, work, partner, situation, and we have this moment now. What am I going to do with it? And I go, I choose joy. I choose better. I choose greater. I don't know what that means. Am I going to lose everyone? Am I going to keep everyone? Will I gain new friends, a new job? What does it mean? So you open your expansive heart and you allow it all to come to you. That's where the intuitive guidance starts to flow again, things about stepping into stuff. So first, guidance is passive, right? It's coming into you. You get the idea. And then there's inspired action. You get guided to step into something. That's where we choke, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, we do choke. I mean, I was listening to a scientist gentleman, I'm not sure how much of a scientist he is, but he was talking about brain science. And what he says is that, our ancestors, in order to survive, our brains were, evolved from a negative bias, that makes it Velcro for bad experience and Teflon for good ones. Now, I want to say, I don't know how much of that I believe. But from a science point of view, it kind of makes sense. How often do we go to the worst case scenario rather than looking at it from a different perspective? All you have to do is say the word doctor for a lot of people. And what happens is, not everybody, mind you, but we go to that place of limitations. We go to that place. I wanted to ask you about this issue about trying to solve this thing. See, this is us trying to solve the problem at the level of the problem. This is what we're doing. We're going to put it on the dang paper. We're going to write our to-do list. And if something doesn't come out where the stuff on the right side is bigger than the stuff on the left side, we're not going to do it. How does that play into the conversation of intuition?
Well, first of all, we talked about shifting in consciousness, right? So consciousness is not going to be at the level of the problem, right? Whatever the problem is. So we're talking about that level first. Now, there are multiple shifts that many of us are going through constantly. It's almost, very chaotic and dramatic, and people are having very intense experiences. If anybody's been talking about the planets for the last few months, a lot of things are happening and shifting. And then there's the integrating of it into our field. So if we meet somebody and their questions to us are on a very 3D level, then, and we look like a mess, all right? And I'm just going to say it that way, that plain. We look like a mess. They're going to go, oh, well, you need to do something different. Well, what if I ask you at a higher level? You may be in the midst of cooking that stew in your field. You may be in the middle of chopping up the vegetables, right? So you can't just evaluate it at that level, just like you've implied. You want to go higher. And what I find is that as we go higher, we start to expand. What our problem is often is we don't know how to bring that expansion back down into our 3D world. And when we have a chance, probably, in the next segment, I want to talk about how do we, let's say, walk into our job or walk into a difficult family situation in our home, carrying that higher consciousness, that higher energetic awareness into the situation. How do we bring it in? Because this is what's key to standing in our empowerment. It's not necessarily going to be like what people think it is, And you've done this, Pat. You've done this so many times. You've recreated yourself, and you've created masterful economies and things that you know what it's been like, but in advance of it, it might have looked like a mess.
No kidding, Leslie. I'm reminded of that as we speak right now. Let's take a short break, everyone. When we come back, Leslie's going to take us on a journey which ultimately leads to our freedom. Believe it or not, there is something to be said about shifting consciousness in abundance that gives us such a sense of freedom. Why? Helplessness goes away. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You got what it takes, you can win. Today is your day to begin.
Can you keep your lifestyle in retirement? It's a question people often wonder about. Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeff Packman about the new Confident Retirement Approach. You and Jeff can break down retirement planning step by step to get the real answers you need. Call Jeff Packman, financial advisor, today at 425-453-0272. Office is located at 601 108th Avenue Northeast, Suite 1800, Bellevue, Washington, 98004. The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment and advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
You got attitude? Keys to the rescue. Adjust your attitude with Keys Clear Protein Waters. So refreshing. Just a few sips of Keys will give you a whole new outlook, thanks to 22 grams of the happiest protein on earth. Tongue-tingling tasty without the guilt of naughty or nasty ingredients. If that doesn't put a smile on your face, maybe you need to drink too. Put a little woohoo in your attitude with Keys Protein Water. On Amazon or at Keys, Kees, please.com.
Sky Siegel co-hosts one of today's most popular psychic shows, Angels and Answers, with Artie Hoffman, as she communicates healing messages from the spirit world. These messages can be astounding, enlightening, and life-changing. Born with the God-given talent of inner guidance and the amazing ability to heal, Sky has healed thousands of people. Schedule a reading with Sky now. Call 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com.
Has asthma or allergies got you singing the raspy blues? Allergy and Asthma Networks is the nation's premier nonprofit patient-centered network of doctors, caregivers, patients, and healthcare professionals who are dedicated to ending death and suffering due to asthma, allergies, and related conditions. Join President and CEO Tanya Winders each month on the Dr. Pat Show to learn more and visit allergyasthmanetwork.org today. Breathe better together with Allergy and Asthma Network.
Hi, I'm Leslie Fonteyne with Sheer Alchemy on Transformation Talk Radio, and here's your tip for the day. What is abundance? It isn't the same to all of us. So what's your personal gold? Is it the full expression of yourself in business, or in love, or in the creation of a book or product, or the service you offer? All of the above? When we step into allowing our joy that corresponds with our essence, we are literally coming out of the closet and making new choices. We look and sound different. We don't even talk about the same things anymore. We have a new spark. So wouldn't it make sense that it causes ripples and earthquakes around us? When you shift, you affect everyone around you. You're teaching people to step into all that they are, and they will come to you and say, what have you done? What makes you different? Join me on Sheer Alchemy on Transformation Talk Radio, and let's go deep with your abundance.
Gotta make up your mind that today is your day.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. What a great conversation. You know, if you sit down at the table and you're thinking to yourself, boy, wouldn't I like more joy? You know, wouldn't I like more happiness? Wouldn't I like more love? You know, wouldn't I like, and then fill in the blanks, more of something else? Well, you're asking for a little shift in consciousness and abundance. That's what you're really saying here. You know, the minute that we say more of something, we want something, we desire it. And there's nothing wrong with desire. But the question is, do we know what to do? Leslie Fonteyne, Sheer Alchemy, joining me here today. You know, Leslie, I hate to say it, but most of the conversations stop right there. They stop at the realization that there is a dream. There's something more I desire. and it literally does stop. How can you help us get through this?
Well, why don't we walk through it? I think that would be an awesome thing. And so first of all, let's just let everybody just really get centered a bit and just allow themselves to ground a bit. And let's bring in some white light. And let's bring in some protection from Archangel Michael. And just bring in some of the ascended masters and archangels that I'm working with. I work with some really high-level, cosmic-level ascended masters. And you have some that you might be working with, so let's bring them in right now. And what I want you to do is I want you to go into that place of your heart space. Just really breathe into it, and you'll notice the tightness. So just allow it to expand out a bit. And just start to allow yourself to bring in the joy of your higher self, of Source, of your light beings, of all the beings that only come on invitation that want to help you step into all that you are. And just allow your energy field to start shifting right now. And sort of take yourself a bit out of the circumstances and the situation that you perceive yourself to be in. And notice where your joy is coming from. And some of you right now are just releasing out of the back of your neck a bit, some things that you've taken on, some burdens that are not yours. Some of you are carrying life paths for other people, and you don't need to be doing that. And so now, go with what's coming to you, that you're being guided to, that is your source of joy. And now notice where you get tight immediately. In your throat, in your heart, in your solar plexus. And you have all these reasons why you can't do it, because you're concerned that you will lose loved ones, lose your job, someone won't approve. So ask yourself now, can I release this? Can I let go of this? Now remember that if we say release family members, it doesn't mean that we'll never speak to them again. It means that we're releasing the attachment and the burden of what they think and what they want from us. We're protecting our energy field. Some of the empaths I'm talking to really don't protect themselves the way they need to. Not everybody deserves your energy. You have some great things to create, and you need to allow yourself the energy and the space to do that. And let other people struggle a bit to step into who they are. And notice the next argument that you have about stepping into your dream, and the next one. And for each one that surfaces, don't fight it, don't push, don't resist. Ask yourself, am I ready to release this? And remember, your inner child is going to tell you we may lose everything. And Spirit and Source are going to tell you that we're going to allow them to walk their own life path. We're going to detach, but we will always love, and we will continue to interact. I can't tell you how important this is. It's just stepping into who you are. So just really allow yourself to go step by step. Don't be afraid. You may feel some grief. You may feel sadness about what you've created in your life where you've limited yourself. And now we're going to say yes to it. And I want you to say yes to every one of these things. Does it take courage? Of course it does. Does it take boldness? Sure it does. But this is for you. This is your life. And if you're really, really done with how you've done it to this point, try this. And I can tell you that the loved ones will join you and support you in who you are. So we're just going to seal that up in a basket for a bit and allow you to really go through it. Don't be alarmed at your feelings, because on the other side of it is a lot of joy. And you're going to be so clear about what you really want. Can you make it all happen tomorrow? No. But you set yourself on that course. And you're going to begin to detach from things that have been siphoning your energy and step into things that are all about who you are. And you should be truly loved for all that you are.
Wow. Leslie, I want to ask you this question because it is an age-old question that people have. I don't know how you were raised. But I was raised in a family where my father literally believed if you work hard, you will get the things you want in life. If you don't get the things you want in life, it's because you're not working hard enough. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of alone with that. But I think a lot of people come from this idea that we have to do more. We have to work harder in order for us to manifest the lives we desire. Can you shed a little light on that? And again, I think we're talking back at trying to solve the problem at the level the problem is created.
Well, I love how you keep bringing that up because it reminds all of us, just like you said. But here's the thing. A lot of people who are shifting in consciousness are having a very hard time with Earth world and with corporate world because of the ego-driven old masculine energies that are so abrasive and hostile. And it's that energy that we're resisting. Okay. So when we are stepping into a successful corporate environment from a higher consciousness, above that ego, above that old masculine, and we're showing up with unconditional love and empowerment, then we start to realize how we can live in this world and change the energy around us. I watch this happen all the time. I make sure I always show up, whether it's at the Starbucks or someone else. And when I forget, I notice immediately the difference, right? So give yourself a chance to stand somewhere in your new energy, sit in that conference room, sit in that shop front, and feel that higher consciousness coming into you, vibrating through you, emanating out of your solar plexus. And watch how you begin to step into things, not from a place of the negative ego, but stepping into it in a place from powerful love, powerful source consciousness. It is going to change everything that you bring to you, everything.
One of the things that I think I'm really struck by is this idea, Leslie, and maybe you can talk to this because it really taps into the conversation about shifting consciousness and abundance. And it's the idea of what are we allowed to dream? And I say that, I was at a meeting the other day and I heard a gentleman say, I don't worry about dreaming, because I'm shooting for the bottom. And I have to tell you, the minute that came out of his mouth, I didn't know what to do with myself. I mean, I could feel my eyeballs start to close. My head started to heat up. I didn't know what to do with that. I shoot for the bottom. I wanted to just hug him or something. I wasn't sure.
Well, the first thing that came to mind when you said that, I said, what a cry for help.
Oh my gosh.
That is a cry for help. And see, I love this thing you just said. And this is so perfect, okay? Because when we're reacting to one another and we get super sensitive and someone's offended us and, we've offended them and we're just deciding to be sensitive, right? We're just deciding to take the worst out of everything. We miss it when someone's crying for help. We miss this moment, when we can be in this higher place, not like I'm above you and you're down there. It's that we can channel this incredible energy vibration into this thing and go, wow, I want to respond to that part of you that's found safety in this place and show you how to shift, and I just love how you brought that up because I see this all the time. We're reacting to one another's words or, this gut thing that hits something within us and it probably hit a button within you, right? So now you go, wow, is there any part of me that was like connected to that? Because I'm always looking at what I'm hooked into, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I have to tell you, Leslie, that there was a part of me that actually felt relief. There is really a sense of relief in shooting for the bottom. Mm-hmm. And what do I mean by that is that there's this idea that you expect nothing, you're not going to be disappointed. Mm-hmm. If you shoot for the bottom, well, what's the worst that can happen? Oh, you'll get the bottom. Mm-hmm. So you actually are meeting your goals.
Yeah.
There's a sense of accomplishment in that for some people. And I understand, what he's saying about it, or at least he went, please, we don't have enough time to really go through it. But I mean, he went on for 20 minutes about this, to be honest with you. And I did listen, and you're right. It's a cry out for help. Now, we do that at different levels. I wish I had been as honest with myself as this gentleman was with himself. Because if I could have seen it better at certain points in my life, I would have recognized it sooner.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not that easy to see, is it?
No, it's not. Because, I mean, when I hear those words, how crushing to have learned at a very young age to expect nothing. And if I can just learn that I'm just, not going to have anything great happen in my life, then I, can find a way to just be satisfied with that. And I have so many clients that are just heartbroken at how how crushed they became at a very young age. And so, so much of our healing today, if you go to any, spiritual bookstore or any new age, bookshelf, you're going to find all these books about how to recover our power, how to become strong again, how to step into abundance, how to step into our goals. And, it's all about recovering everything that we lost or learned to not expect in life. And so this is a very big topic now, but I love what you've said many times about solving the problem at the level it was created. We want to go higher. And that's what the shift in consciousness is about. When we don't understand why we don't care about what everybody else cares about, why we don't manifest the way they do, this is where you want to ask your spirit and your higher self and your guidance team, okay, how do we manifest? What do we create? How do I say yes to everything that's coming my way? And even if I'm afraid, do it anyway. And how can I get the support and the courage to do that?
Leslie, I'm really struck by something that you said, and that's this. I don't believe that I don't believe that, energy source, whatever one calls it, likes to play jokes on us. And so what do I mean by that? I don't think that for me in my life, maybe you as well, I've gotten an idea in my consciousness that wasn't achievable. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think that this is like teasing us.
No.
And so the question really is, the shift of consciousness, does it help us take action?
Well, yes, there's two parts of it, but what we're afraid of is stepping into all that we are, right? If we are, there's some of us, in the spiritual world, we're kind of like guilty of this. We have some of us who are very passive and just want to have the spiritual experience, and then, we don't want to take action. We don't want to step into it. And then there's the inspired action, which is more of the masculine energy. But it's not necessarily this hard driving thing, but it is the one that has initiative, that steps into us. If we're choking at the point of action, that is a wound to heal right there. That's a fear to clear right there. So let's look at what's ours today. Let's check that out. And if we need a session to help someone clear out this old stuff, let's do it. Because like you said, it's coming up on January and it's time.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's what Leslie does. She helps us all clear the pathway. Not that we have to really scrape and scrap for abundance to show up. But what if abundance was all around us, but it just couldn't get to us, right?
Right. I love that. It's beautiful.
Just couldn't get to us. There's so many stories we hear about that in life and in time. And, many people ask this question, how do I work with the Ascended Masters, Leslie? How can I work at another level to solve the problem? I know you get asked that question a lot.
I do, and I'm doing so much more teaching now, Pat, than I used to, even in my sessions, because people are just in this place now. They're ready. And one thing I want people to know is the Ascended Masters and Archangels come in by invitation. So you must invite them. This is not the time of, hey, you will be contacted because you're special. You are special. Invite them in. They wait for you to give them a job. They wait for you to want to shift what you're doing. So invite them in. Go on our website, research Ascended Masters, Archangels, see who resonates with you. I'm glad to help you with that. You can give me a call and we'll walk through what you're connecting with and what you're wanting to do. I can't tell you enough how much it will change your life as you begin to step into it. And if you're even listening to this, it's because it's time. It's time to do it.
Yes. Wow. What a great show. Leslie, thank you so much for today. Thank you so much for all that you do. I want to ask you if you could please leave us with an affirmation, leave us with a message, leave us with a call to action for our own well-being.
Our own well-being is so precious and so high. And if you're feeling sensitive and you're feeling defeated, try stepping higher, bringing in these beautiful, beautiful, powerful masters and archangels into your situation. Try saying yes to what maybe till now you've said no to. And watch what happens. Watch what unfolds. Don't be afraid of your own power, of your own voice, of your own beauty, of the sensitivity that you came on purpose to have so that you could be a way shower. There's so much that you can become in this lifetime. hope to help you with it.
Wow, thank you, Leslie. For all of you out there, please go ahead and take a look at Leslie, where she's going to be. Go to the website, lesliefonteyne.com. That's LeslieFonteyne.com, or just Google Sheer Alchemy. Give her a call, 678-665-3366. Schedule your time with her. She works with people all over the world. If you've missed any part of this powerful show today, certainly you'll be able to listen to it on Leslie's website, or you'll be able to listen to it later on today on TransformationTalkRadio.com. We'll see you next time, everyone.
You've been listening to the hit show Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fonteyne on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Tune in each month to Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fonteyne to stir up your passions, remove your blocks, and shift into an entirely new existence. Gifted, shifted, and powerful is what this show is about. Visit TransformationTalkRadio.com and LeslieFonteyne.com for showtimes and dates. Contact Leslie at LeslieFonteyne.com to schedule a transformative session that removes your blocks so that you can say yes to explosive abundance. You will not be the same.